Hi everyone, Tim Brown. Welcome back to my Apple Podcast, the podcast that makes a personal connection to everything Apple. For this episode, I want to feature Adobe Comp. It's an application designed for the iPad. It basically enables you to set up comps or studies for anything you happen to be working on, a web page or document and so forth. The application was developed in partnership with Coy Vin, the former web designer for New York Times and also for Mixel for the iPad. Let's go ahead and explore the application, and I'll walk you through some of the features. So here you're looking at some sample studies here that come with the app, and they're very inspiring in themselves. To the left-hand side here is a plus symbol. You're going to click on that to explore some templates to start out with. I'm going to go ahead and start with the iPad landscape format. And I'm just going to walk you through all the features. So on the left-hand side here, you can see a little square or almost fully enclosed square icon. I'm going to select that. You now see an X that appears. That means that you can now draw objects onto the stage. So this is sort of like a freehand way of getting all of your comp elements onto the stage rather quickly. So in this case, I want a couple of rectangles. So I'm just going to go ahead and draw a rectangle with my hand. And when I let go, it actually creates a rectangle. And I'm going to go ahead and do that one more time. So now I have two rectangles. That's good. That's exactly what I want. I can resize them later. You can also draw an X if you want a picture to show up. So I'm going to go ahead and draw an X. And now I have a picture. And I'm going to draw a line and a dot for some text. Okay, that's great to get me started. I'm going to select the X to get out of this. And now I'm going to get into editing mode. So now I can actually go ahead and select these shapes and begin to edit and modify them. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. So I'm going to select my rectangle down here at the bottom, and I'm going to bring this up about to maybe halfway, and I'm going to change the color. So you see I have a menu of options along the bottom. I'm going to choose the first option, which is the circle of color. This enables me to make it darker or lighter by using the slider here. So I'm just going to go ahead and make it darker. And then I'm going to go to the other rectangle up above, and I'm just going to bring it so that it's flush with the other one, and that's cool. I'm going to leave it just like that for now. And now I have this square here with the X. This is actually set up so that I can now import a picture, believe it or not. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. So I'm going to go ahead and just tap on that. And you see I'm prompted to load a photo right into this square, which is pretty awesome. I'm going to go to my iPad and do that. And I'm going to bring in this Mac icon that I have set up, or picture with a drop shadow. Bring that right there. And I'm going to go ahead and use this text here to express my slogan, which is your personal connection to everything Apple. So I'm going to go ahead and quickly type that in. And I want that to be actually white. So I'm going to tap on the circle again and just move the slider over and make it white. Great. Now I want a header. I want it to say My Apple Podcast. So that's when I'm going to go up here to the text option here and just choose headline. I can also choose subheadline and or paragraph. In this case, I'm just going to choose headline. And I'm going to double tap on that and just type in My Apple Podcast. Apple Podcast. Okay, I'm going to slide that over, and I'm going to go ahead and just leave that black for now. So it looks pretty cool. Now I want a menu up above because, again, this is a comp for a web app for the iPad. So I'm going to go back to text again, or actually I'm going to go ahead and just duplicate this one because along the bottom here you have the option to just tap the plus button to duplicate what you have. So I'm going to go ahead and tap on that, and I'm going to backspace and just call this Home. I'm going to move that over because I don't really need that much space. I'm going to select the text icon because you can format your text when you select the text icon. I'm going to just center the text here. And I'm going to move that up just a little bit. And I want three more buttons. So I'm just going to go ahead and hit the duplicate button 3 more times. And I'm going to just spread them out along the top here to cover the top part of my composition. And you notice too that there's a snap in place option. So everything just sort of snaps in place and lines up perfectly as you're moving things around. Okay, I have my button set up. Now, I have home selected as white because I want that to be an example of what the button looks like when that page happens to be selected. But I also want something else to happen. I want to create a little square banner behind the text whenever someone arrives at that page. And I want to change the color. I'm going to use one of my existing colors, which now appears as a swatch along the bottom to match the color down below. I'm just going to go ahead and move that up so that it's underneath the home button. In order for me to do that, I can now go to the layers icon along the bottom. Here you can actually control what layer you want that to be on by just scrolling back and forth until you find the right level you want it to be on. That's where I want it. I'm just going to move that over a little bit so it's centered. And maybe not so big though. Okay, like that. So every time someone comes to a page, this little banner appears. I want to add one more thing, and I think I'll be done. I'm going to add a little triangle here. I think I'm going to rotate it because I want this triangle to prompt people to scroll to the next page down below. Of course, I don't want it to be that big, but let's go ahead and leave it like that for now. And there's my quick comp. I just set up a study for how I want my app for the iPad to look. And you have the option to save to another application made by Adobe, or you can just share it to your library or open another application for further edits. And that is Adobe Comp. Excellent application, intuitive and easy to use. By far one of the best applications designed by Adobe for iOS. This is Tim Brown. Thanks for tuning in to another episode of my Humble Podcast. Check me out next time.